So the terrible trio, Hypno-Disc, Wheelie Big Cheese and Ming 3. Only one can survive to go through to one of our Annihilator finals.
Well, I'm in the pits with Hypno-Disc. I'm helping take them to the arena. I have to say, I'm proud just to be seen with this robot. I love it. Now, are you worried about this fight? Because Wheelie Big Cheese is about as big a flipper as you could get, isn't it?
Yeah, he's got one of the best flippers, the highest flippers. We've got to avoid it by all costs.
And how does Hypno-Disc stand up to being flipped normally? Because you have got a self-righting mechanism.
Well, if we go high and come down a bit awkward, then we could be damaged.
OK, and how's the disc actually working?
Very well.
Yeah?
Really well.
It's not slowing down at all from the last wars?
We did some modifications to electronics just overnight, and it's working as good as it's ever been, so fingers crossed.
And completing today's Mayhem lineup, a robot so good they made the toy. It's the mighty, the awesome Hypno-Disc!
From Middleton Cheney, Banbury in Oxfordshire, Hypno-Disc.
Constructed by the Rose family, will they bloom again with the thorny spinning disc and aluminium and mild steel shell? Will they spin to win or end up in the bin?
Hi, I'm Dave Rose, team captain of Hypno-Disc. These are our team members, Derek and our father Ken. We've made a number of improvements this wars, the main one being a much more powerful weapon. It's so awesome, it's going to cause the ultimate disc destruction.
Roboteers, stand by.
There then is Ming 3, Ming the Merciless, with Andrew Cotterill at the controls. Hypno-Disc, with an even better weapon and Wheelie Big Cheese. Brainchild of Roger Plant there at the controls. Dave and Derek Rose controlling Hypno-Disc. And just to make things interesting, the pincer and saw of dead metal. And alongside that, get away from dead metal. You won't get away from Shunt with the axe and the scoop.
3, 2, 1.
Don't forget, only one survivor goes through to our Annihilator final. That's the most awesome weapon we've ever seen on Robot Wars, and it's even better, the weapon on the front of Hypno-Disc, dodging away from Wheelie Big Cheese. In comes Ming 3 to enter the fray. Is that wise? Well, they have the crushing arm. Oh, goodness me! And the wheel is shredded on the side there of Ming 3. Look at that dent, that tear in the wheel of Ming 3. What a deadly assault, just slicing down the side of Ming 3 completely. Ripping it asunder. Wheelie Big Cheese tries to get out of the way, and no wonder there's a look at the front of Wheelie Big Cheese as well. There's a huge crevasse dug out of the front of Wheelie Big Cheese. Can anything stop Hypno-Disc? Look at the wheel of Wheelie Big Cheese. It's almost sliced in two. And the front tries to get that great cheese jaw opened up to flip and maybe clamp. Ming 3 doesn't know what's hit it. I think Ming 3 could well be immobilised there and then. Trying to get back into action. Holes, slices, tears. Well, Wheelie Big Cheese has been grated, let's be honest. And as for Hypno-Disc, it is pulling everyone under its spell. In it comes again. Ming 3, battered almost into oblivion, and there goes a whole wheel! A whole wheel has come off! One attack! Oh, there goes the other one, but why not? So, Ming 3, what are you going to do now then, boys? Come on. Back into the action, Ming 3. Creep across the arena floor. Dead metal's out. Well, of course, the ref bot. Back to Mongo for Andrew Cotterill. The ref bot's in there, counting down. Wheelie Big Cheese counting down. Ming 3. Hypno-Disc has battered everything there. That was awesome. That was deadly, demonic destruction. Poor Alex and Oliver Cotterill Alex is 11. Oliver is 8. They can't have seen anything like this in their lives. Look, Willy Big Cheese, one of its back tyres is almost bent and buckled, but still enough life in Willy Big Cheese to get rid of Ming 3. We know Ming 3 is out. We know it's going to be pitted. Willy Big Cheese in the grapple of dead metal. Oh, and look at this. This is why this is the battle of the night. They love it. Destruction. The sparks fly. Dead metal slicing into Willy Big Cheese. There's the carcass also of Ming 3 in there. On the arena floor, Hypno-Disc all gleaming steel and spin and destructive capabilities, and the sparks fly again, littering the arena floor. There's what's left of Ming 3 into the pit, says one. That's where Willy Big Cheese is shoved by Shunt. The house robots have had their say too in this battle, which has had everything. Bravery by Willy Big Cheese. Suicidal behaviour by Ming 3 to enter the arena at all.
Cease.
With the truly awesome, spectacular Hypno-Disc. That was truly frightening.
To you guys, now we thought that might be a tough challenge for you, but you made light work of that, didn't you?
We thought it was going to be a tough challenge. So both robots were really well armoured, but the wheels were the vulnerable part, and that's what we went for.
Why does it make that noise as it revolves? Like, woo?
Yeah, that's the best bit. That's the scary bit, isn't it? The sound, yeah.
Oh, it's kicked off now. Why does it make that noise?
It's the gearing inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the gearing.
Because you can hear it coming, can't you? You think, oh my God.
And it gets higher and higher, and it just gets worse and worse. You know it's going to be painful.
Well, you're through to the Annihilator, lads, and you know you've been close many times. This time you could go all the way.
We'll try it. We'll do our
Ladies and gentlemen, go ballistic for Hypno-Disc!
Well, that is a major surprise. Panic Attack rated as one of the top 6 robots anywhere out to Firestorm 3, and coming up another great All-Stars clash. These are the best robots around. Jules is in the pits.
Yes, indeed, Jonathan. I'm here with one of the undisputed all-stars of the 3rd and 4th wars. I'm, of course, talking about the unstoppable killing machine that is Hypno-Disc and the Rose family. Boys, we've seen your robot in action so many times. Do you even need a strategy?
Well, quite simply, just attack is the best form of defence.
Fighting talk. And you're up against Behemoth. Anything to say to them?
Behemoth boys, you better call a local scrap metal merchant. You're going to need him.
From Middleton Cheney, Banbury in Oxfordshire, Hypno-Disc.
Sleek and mean, twice a grand finalist, slightly the heavier here, and it's used that extra weight to give the disc twice as much power as before. Terrifying. And just to make things interesting, our 2 house robots in the arena, Sergeant Bash with the long tongue of fearsome flame, and Dead Metal ready to put the squeeze on anything with those punishing pincers. The Rose boys at the controls of Hypno-Disc, and there's Anthony Pritchard, controls of Behemoth. The ref bot in the middle of these two things. Behemoth on the charge. Hypno-Disc backing away to come forward with an onslaught, but the scoop at the front of Behemoth was too strong and withstood the pressure and the power and the punishment. And this is interesting. I didn't think it would go this far. Look at that. The scoop simply deflecting Hypno-Disc away. Is this the sort of style to defeat Hypno-Disc? The Behemoth fan club thinks so. Look at this. Bash! Lifting the scoop just at the right time to deflect the disc away. The indestructible disc. And again, just a little flick that pushed Hypno-Disc aside. And once again, it's like a Toreador dancing away from the bull. The onrushing bull again is Hypno-Disc. At the control of Behemoth, Anthony Pritchard. He's a model maker now. By profession is Anthony. And a model lesson here to robot ears everywhere of how to take on Hypno-Disc's spinning weapon. Behemoth, they say, cannot be beaten, and they've driven Hypno-Disc into the CPZ, and Sergeant Bash has it in its clutches. Look at this. This is a great drive by Behemoth. Out comes the flick of flame from Sergeant Bash's torch. Hypno-Disc is going nowhere at the moment, and they know it. They're in trouble. Oh, look at this. Dead Metal's attacking Behemoth. That is bang out of order. He can't do that. And the ref bot quite rightly going, he giving him a yellow card, I wonder? I think he's brandished there. Yes, he has. The metal gets a yellow card, quite rightly so. Get out of there. We'll argue with the ref bot. Not in his current mood. Oh dear. Hypno-Disc. This is another surprise here. Hypno-Disc away from Sergeant Bash, only just spinning on its side and then over, just away from the clutches, but it was a good attack again by Behemoth. There goes Hypno-Disc, finally away, but time is running out on them, they know it. Now they try and get the disc stoked up to its maximum revolution, but facing the wrong way, this is all Behemoth. And it's been a superb display from them. Oh, Dead Metal's coming in again. That was a tackle from behind by Dead Metal. Shouldn't have been in there. Refbot, get involved. No. What is he doing here, Dead Metal? Had no right to take on Behemoth at all. And Behemoth now replying and retaliating, and the refbot does come in, I think. Yes, indeed he has. He sent Dead Metal back into the CPZ. You cannot come out and play anymore, you naughty boy. Homeboy. And do not come out again. Are we going to see Hypno-Disc beaten again like this? I wonder. This is a real clue now for the rest of our competitors. Later on in the series, in all sorts of events, and they will realise they've got work to do. There's Hypno-Disc on the flame pit being torched, is going nowhere. The disc is spinning, you can see that wildly, but I think the motors have been burnt out. It is immobile on that flame pit. And this is a crispy end here for Hypno-Disc. Driven onto that flame pit by Behemoth. This has certainly been one of the best pieces of robot stylistics we've ever seen in the wars. And an extreme version, Behemoth have seen Hypno-Disc counted out. Oh, look at that, they're stunned. I don't think they can believe it either.
Well, oh, good golly. Dead Metal gets a red card for excessive involvement. Hypno-Disc are immobilised. Controversially, Behemoth are the winners. Come on, lads. I've got to have a word with the lads. You are always the bridesmaids and never the brides. What went wrong?
I think one of the tyres has actually come off and it's jammed on the inside of the rim.
I thought the disc was going to stop working.
Yeah, I thought we were going to lose the disc there, but no, it kept going. But once you'd lost motion on the tyres, that was it. We were finished.
Commiserations, lads. Yeah. Commiserations.
Behemoth they did a good job.
Behemoth did do a good job. Let's hear it for Behemoth! All righty!
Shock, horror, Hypno-Disc. How could you let this happen?
Well, we tried our best. I mean, Behemoth put up a good fight. They didn't really do much damage to us, but what actually stopped us in the end was this wheel here is jammed up for some reason. The self-right arm worked fantastic. They flipped us over. That tipped us back up right. We were really pleased with that.
They put up a good fight, didn't they?
They did, yeah. It was aim of their bucket. We hit a number of times. It was still working, so they deserved the win.
Craig, what devilish delight and fearsome fright we'll have. 6 rampant robots have shown their carnage class and mayhem mastery by winning through their heats to make this Annihilator, Pussycat and Splinter, X-Terminator and Hypno-Disc, Thermidor and Arnold A. Terminegger, around half dozen. 5 will be left tonight, weeping into the pits. Let's see how they got this far.
If you are of a nervous disposition, I warn you, look away now. For the rest of us, let the Annihilator begin!
From High Wycombe in Buckinghamshire, Arnold Terminegger.
The Terminegger team in the middle there, Ian English and his family. A box on wheels with the glowing red menacing eyes, an axe hammer weapon. The lifter acts as a stream-egg. Arnold A is back.
From Costassy, Norwich, Norfolk, Thermidor 2.
On the right, David Harding and driver Ian Harvey. The most impressive performer in Extreme so far. The pneumatic CO2 flipper is devastating powerful. The claws will drag opponents on. And with 95 kilos slamming into you at 50 miles an hour, the Thermidor's cooking.
From Gloucester, Pussycat.
David Gribble driving on the left-hand side, his dad Alan behind him and Robert Bettington. The cat's litter, anything chewed up by the patented Pussycat blade, agile as a cat, 14 miles an hour top speeds, a grand finalist in the last series of Robot Wars.
From Thorpe Marriott, Norwich, Splinter.
The Splinter Boys, far right, Stuart and Craig Wakeman. A semi-finalist in Series 4, looking for revenge against Hypno-Disc, fast at 15 miles an hour, a pneumatic axe weapon and grabbing arm.
From Belmont, in Hereford, X-Terminator.
The X-Men, Marlon Pritchard and Paul Lewis on the left there. A Series 4 semi-finalist, the quickest here at 18 miles an hour. The axe alone weighs 37 kilos. It has a stream-egg, the whole thing driven by a 24-volt motor.
From Middleton Cheney, Banbury in Oxfordshire, Hypno-Disc.
The Hypno-Disc Rose family in the middle. Big, nasty disc, twice as much power than the last series. It's slightly heavier than before. It hits you at 75 miles an hour, effectively. The shell's aluminium and mild steel. And the house robot thrown into mix and match. Shunt with the bulldozer scoop and the diamond-edged axe, powerful, resolute. And Matilda, pugnacious, pug ugly, pig-headed.
Roboteers, stand by. 3.
Thermidor and certainly Hypno-Disc would be the favourites for this, but look for Pussycat as well, immediately on the attack on Arnold A. Also Splinter underneath Arnold A. There's Hypno-Disc backing away, crunching on an X-Terminator. There's X-Terminator with a big blade being pushed around there by Thermidor. Arnold A again under pressure from Pussycat. Pussycat spins away to have a go, this time it's Splinter. Splinter in on the frame as well. Hypno-Disc backs away, this is Thermidor. Hypno-Disc thrown up on the top of X-Terminator there, and Hypno-Disc taking pressure from Pussycat. They're all off the Hypno-Disc. Early on there's Arnold A with the axe coming down on Hypno-Disc. It's Bash-a-Disc. That's the game here, look at this, they're all off the Hypno-Disc. There it flies up first of all, comes down, there's the axe going in on Arnold A. Pussycat involved as well, Thermidor trying to get the grips. Hypno-Disc right in the middle, Thermidor's being pushed away to the CPZ, that's a good drive there by Splinter. Our Thermidor immobilised, they need to get going very, very quick, but you want to wait to the top of your screen there, Arnold A coming in now on X-Terminator. This is a very good display by Arnold A. X-Terminator on the top of Hypno-Disc too. Hypno-Disc, have they been immobilised? Brutalised by the sheer force of enmity by the rest of the arena. Hypno-Disc is going nowhere at this moment in time. Being pursued by X-Terminator and Splinter. Very good display by the Splinter team here. Crashing and bashing, taking on X-Terminator. Hypno-Disc and the Rose Boys drive away, but Thermidor is being broiled. Well, that is a major surprise for me, and Hypno-Disc cannot get any space there to have a run and get the blade into action. Poor old Thermidor never got going at all. And for me, the surprise of the show so far, here's Splinter, bottom of your screen, and there, Arnold A. They've been brilliant. That was one of my favourites. What's happened to my lobster? Oh, dear. The world's your lobster? It ain't. You're just a fraud in our game, I'm afraid. And Hypno-Disc has done little better. Another attack on Hypno-Disc by X-Terminator. The ref box indicate Thermidor off. I think they're as surprised as I am. And there's our first faller in this Annihilator. And the others survive, but only just, and they know it.
Hypno-Disc team. Now, it's not really all that at the moment, is it? It's
Jules,
sort of...
It's a bit like
It's a bit like that.
They're ganged up on us. 3 axes at the time is a bit much, that, isn't it? Hey?
Pull out the disc and just show them how sort of puny their axes are, though. Come on.
Okay.
Let's look at the damage.
Call it damage,
Call
eh?
that damage, chaps.
Well, this is all sounding very positive.
Total damage.
Look at that.
Total damage, Jules.
Yeah,
Look at it.
You got a lap, haven't you?
You guys
My-
are so invincible and difficult to beat that we've got 2 teams fighting for the right to say that it was their weapons
They've
that
got
put
no
you
chance.
out.
Got no chance.
Was it Exterminator or Splinter that did most of the damage?
I think it was a little flea in there that was jumping around on top of the disc.
My Pussycat at home could do more than that.
Okay, guys, so it's looking good. Now, can you get it back together for the next
We've
battle?
actually got a technical problem. We lost the movement altogether at the end of that battle.
Was that the flea that did
Must
that?
have been the flea, going to the wrong place. But We think it was actually a damaged battery. The lead plates within the battery sometimes short out, so we're going to change the batteries, try it all again. And fingers crossed, we'll be back in there for some more disc destruction.
So one robot has gone already, Thermidor. Hypno-Disc survives, but I wouldn't like to see Ken Rose's Pussycat at home, would you? And how much damage has been done to Hypno-Disc? And in all that mighty melee, where was Pussycat? Once again then, this is Arnold A, Terminegger, Ian Inglis in the middle there at the controls in the red. X-Terminator, with 31-year-old Marlon Pritchard on the right. There's Pussycat, followed into the arena by Splinter. And Hypno-Disc, of course, probably the Rose family. And our two house robots for Annihilator round 2. Sick killer lot, all glaring eyes, crushing claws and spiking lance. And tension! The sergeant's on parade with his fiery timber, and he's hot under the collar!
Musketeers, stand by. 3.
Here they go again then. Immediately you've got X-Terminator there, bottom of your pitch. Oh, Hypno-Disc has got away! They've learned to stay out of trouble, perhaps, after that first bruising duster. And Pussycat's in a little bit of trouble. Exterminator tries a side-on collision with Hypno-Disc. This is Pussycat and Splinter. We've seen very little of the cat. They're currently rated one of the best 2 robots in the country. They're keeping out of this a little bit. And Splinter Boys again in the thick of things. Here's Arnold A2, bringing the axe down. In devastating style, Pussycat slams on the splinters. Bulldoze, bucket, scoop, and bounce away. Exterminator again trying to rock and roll against Hypno-Disc. That's Splinter taking on Pussycat and charging him into the corner. And Arnold A doing battle and Pussycat thrust into the corner this time by Splinter, and in comes Bash. Look at this, it's a good drive by Splinter. Pushing Pussycat into that corner. Pussycat's blade was turning, but no damage was being caused, and Bash is in there, and they're all trying to have a go now. But Pussycat, and someone has released the arena pit button. It started to descend, and someone's going to go down there any moment now. The Splinter Boys have once again been very, very impressive. Hypno-Disc this time has stayed out of trouble, and everyone seems to have wanted to go at Pussycat, but now, again, Hypno-Disc is under pressure from Arnold A. Gets away, side slam on Exterminator. Little damage again caused to Hypno-Disc. Oh, look at that from Arnold A, the great, powerful axe. And Hypno-Disc thinking, well, I better get into the thrust of the action here, just in case it goes to a judge's decision, because I haven't done a lot, and Exterminator's axe was extended and took a long, long time to come back down. I thought they might have been in trouble there. Okay, Pussycat in the middle there as well. Splinter has been magnificent in this Annihilator so far, and Arnold A. And Hypno-Disc now has been plucked by Sergeant Bash, and the claws. The disc hasn't rotated at all, Hypno-Disc. Twice as powerful as in the last series, they told us, but here in Extreme, it has just not got going. In came Exterminator with a little nudge on Bash as well, and then the axe down on Hypno-Disc. And the Rose Boys, Derek and Dave, who's the driver of the machine, simply have not got moving. That's Pussycat being slammed onto the arena sidewall by Splinter. There's Arnold A with the glaring eyes, and Hypno-Disc trying to get away again from trouble. Arnold A slamming into the sidewall and trying to axe our angle grinders. Unwise. Plenty of movement out there again. Pussycat trying to get in behind Splinter, and Splinter's pal, it seems to me, Arnold A, is seeking retribution. The Splinter team have been very consistent with Stuart Wakeman and his son Craig, the driver. Pussycat just to swing over the top of the picture. Again, all the pressure on Hypno-Disc. Can they respond? They're once again in the middle here. And under enormous pressure, as is Pussycat. It really is take on the favourites, isn't it? And let's all have a disco. That's what they want out there, Exterminator and Splinter. And Exterminator has got a claw onto the disc itself. It may have punctured the disc and therefore be able to lift it up in a way. They certainly seem to have impaled their axe there. Exterminator on the top of Hypno-Disc. Now they're free and can get away. This goes to a judge's. I think Hypno-Disc will be in real trouble. Mind you, our Exterminator moving? Our Exterminator moving? Are they immobilised now? Is there a problem here for the Exterminator team? There are problems for Exterminating. Goes the red bot. They're being counted out here, Exterminator. After so much promise, Marlon Pritchard is being counted out. That's a disappointment. And the second of our robots has fallen in the Annihilator. It's X-Terminator this time. They've gone. Which means, of course, kill a lot, and the others can have their fun. Oh, extra punishment for X-Terminator, no! Slightly in the wrong place for the floor flipper, but they're flipping well out. It was the final insult, wasn't it? Ignominy at the end for X-Terminator.
Well, the action doesn't stop tonight until just one robot survives. So are we ready to bash 4 down to 3? Then let the third round begin.
Arnold A. Terminegger and Splinter first out into the arena. The Arnold A team, Ian Inglis, Holly's daughter, Steph, his wife, there on the left, and Stuart and Craig Wakeman with Splinter. Here comes Pussycat, quiet so far, I think, and Hypno-Disc. David Gribble at the controls of Pussycat with Dad Allen and friend Robert Bettington there in the right. And our house robots for the clash are Dead Metal with the long-reaching, tight-squeezing pincers and penetrating, puncturing saw, and Shunt once again with a frontal assault from the Bulldozer Ram, followed by an axe blow or two.
Roboteers, stand by.
The ref bot checks, and we wait for the green light. There it goes. And the robots in action immediately. Pussycat more aggressive at the start of this one, it seems. Straight in on the side of Arnold A. Terminegger. In the pits, we heard how much damage they were sustaining. Splinter, ooh, the arm nearly got caught by the Pussycat blade there. Hypno-Disc is again fairly immobile. They've lacked some sort of motory power in all of this, I'm sure. Splinter seems a little bit cagey. Pussycat slammed away there by Arnold A. Terminegger. Hypno-Disc is going nowhere. There goes the arena buzzer. There goes the release button. It was Splinter releasing the pit. Down goes the pit. I think the roses know. Look at the faces. They know they're going down. So, we're about to lose our second favourite here for the Annihilator. Thermidor went very early on, and Hypno-Disc are about to go now. They're on the lip. They won't survive, and it was the cat. Oh, went in just afterwards. But it was Hypno-Disc who went in first, and Pussycat will survive. Hypno-Disc were always going in. Pussycat nearly went into, and Splinter.
What a turn-up for the Bucks! Pussycat puts Hypno-Disc into the pit of oblivion. Hypno-Disc, they go out of the competition. Well, guys, you hear what the audience think of that? You're ranked 3rd in the UK. We thought that was going to be easy peasy for you. A bit of a problem with Pussycat, maybe.
No, I think we had a few tough rounds earlier on.
You took a bit of damage earlier, didn't you?
Yeah, we got picked on.
In the first bit, they all seemed to gang up on you, didn't they?
They did, yeah. Yeah, that took its toll.
Yeah.
Yeah, that first impact on Arnold, it just must have knocked everything out on us.
It's like, it's not a well robot at the moment, is it?
No.
No.
No, it's on the sick bed, so you better take him home and
Give
see
him
to
some tender, loving care.
Yeah, I reckon so.
Will he live to fight again?
Definitely.
Yeah. What do you reckon his chances are? I mean, do you think, is he going to be the classiest robot from Robot Wars?
Could be. There's a lot of good robots.
There are a lot of good robots, but are they as good as yours? Don't be diplomatic now.
No, they're better. We lost.
Have you enjoyed it? Those Annihilators.
They're great fun, yeah. Crazy.
They're great fun, but you've got to have eyes in the back of your head, haven't you?
Yeah. You can't see what's going on. It's just so manic.
And there's so much mayhem, so much carnage, so much destruction. But you know what I'm like? That's what I like on Robot Wars. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it. What a team, what a robot. Hypno-Disc!
Well, Craig, for this Britain versus Germany grudge match, who better to represent the UK than Hypno-Disc? And they will, of course, be up against the extreme team from Germany. Now, guys, this is a battle of engineering. So what is so special about your robot?
Oh, well, but it's out of carbon, and we think it's the best one here in this fight.
Okay, carbon, you say?
Yeah.
Just carbon.
Just carbon.
Hypno-Disc. They're made of carbon.
Pencils amount of carbon, aren't they? Yeah.
So not in the least bit intimidating,
No,
then?
not at all. No, we get through pretty thick carbon, titanium, nothing will stop us.
Mind you, they say that now, but with all good works of engineering, it only takes the tiniest thing to go wrong, and the war is lost.
From Germany, Nasty Warrior.
An Arrow-style flat body, two 36-volt driven wheels, able to run both sides up. The outer skin is covered in carbon materials. The weapon's a lawnmower blade.
From Middleton Cheney, Hypno-Disc.
Created by the Rose family, they spin to win with their aluminium and mild steel shell. The big nasty disc has twice as much power than in the last series.
Roboteers, stand by.
And the house robots shunt with the axe, the scoop, the pushing power. And nasty, niggly, bad-tempered Matilda with a total lack of self-control. Hypno-Disc coming from the left with the spinning disc, the darker features of Nasty Warrior. R.I.P. rest in pieces, I think it's gonna be. The roses mean to bloom. Look at this, already shards being ripped away from the extreme team from Karlsruhe. The Nasty Warrior machine, oh dear, is taking terrible punishment. Carbon? It's made of carbon, have a look underneath there. There's balsa wood, I'm sure. Carbon? Bit of plastic here. Bit of sellotape there. There's not going to be much left of it, I wouldn't have thought. Hypno-Disc again slams in. Another slice. It's been ripped to shreds. The German hope. Sad to see. Of course it is. Jan and Marco and Norman Tice. A jet of steam under Hypno-Disc. Dances away. It's mesmerising. It's hypnotic, isn't it, if you stare at it long enough? The Germans come back on the attack, but tentatively so. I think they're just trying to stay out of trouble, to be honest. And it will be the Union Jack hoisted high over this battle. Nasty Warrior trying to stay out of trouble, really. Took 9 months and roughly £300 to build Nasty Warrior with the lawnmower blade. We haven't even seen it yet, really. Been dragged across the arena floor by Hypno-Disc, but is Hypno-Disc now conked out? What's happened to Hypno-Disc? Is it still manoeuvrable? Is it out of reach of Matilda? Is this going to be a stunning surprise? Is this going to be a German victory after all? The Rose of England is fading from its early bloom. It's getting some damage in late on, but I don't think it's moving a great deal. And had Nasty Warrior had any sort of weaponry at all, we might have had a shock here. Look at that, flapping around like a tongue. A piece of Nasty Warrior. What is that on the floor? Some part of the German machine. The disc's moving okay, but the ref body's unhappy because Hypno-Disc is not being manoeuvred over the war zone floor and is being counted out. Nasty Warrior is still alive, and what a surprise! Hypno-Disc is out, and the Germans win it. That's a stunner, and they haven't won it on penalties.
Well, a European-friendly challenge. Hypno-Disc, one of Britain's best robots, is immobilised. The winner are the Germans and Nasty Warrior. Congratulations. It was the Germans, lads. We're playing Germany.
Oh no, oh no.
At home.
Hang our heads in shame.
We were playing Germany at home, and look what you did to us.
I think there was some wooden splinters that got in one of the drive gears, and I think it just
Really?
seized one side of it, yeah.
Because the spinning disc was spinning well enough, but
Yeah.
it seemed like you were only spinning on half power very early on.
Yeah.
It kind of went up to maximum power towards the end, but you weren't going anywhere.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what happened there. It's going to be interesting to find out actually what went wrong.
The Germans it was, guys.
Yeah,
At home.
they're our jinx, aren't they? Yeah.